Hello, LinkedIn. It has been a minute since I've created a video, and I am so happy that I finally have my apartment set up the way that I want it to be, which is better for filming. Okay? It's like I can't do anything unless it's like exactly perfectly the way that I want it. It's a good and a bad thing, a blessing and a curse. It's like the main reason I'm not on YouTube right now is because I can't figure out how to do it perfectly, right? So I'm on LinkedIn. I'm just really wanting to come to you with a little bit of a message that I'm hearing on the streets of YouTube, okay? So apparently there's this big push now for LinkedIn to be the new social media platform. Now, I've been here for years. Way before you and I have probably connected, I was a recruiter, okay? So LinkedIn wasn't just a place for me to build a personal brand or talk about being a founder. It was actually my job. So I've been here since it was a functionality of my workplace. And so how it's evolved over time and being here, I'm almost at 40,000 followers. It has been amazing. But I am here because I love the platform and the people that I connect to. Not because it's the most popular thing all of a sudden, but what I'm hearing is that there's a big push to try to get people off of other platforms to come over to LinkedIn. And honestly, it's interesting. I feel like it's my opportunity to get on YouTube and help people that want to be creators on LinkedIn. I've gotten brand deals. I've been able to get paid to post. I've been flown out places just all based off of my LinkedIn work. As a matter of fact, most of the things that I do all have started from LinkedIn and being noticed through my personal branding. But I'm wondering what you guys think. Like, are you interested in seeing television series like content on LinkedIn? Because I think that might be coming, and I am interested in potentially producing something like that. I know before, when I was first launching my app, I started out that way. I really love it. So I'm just wondering, like, what kind of content are you looking forward to seeing? And how do you feel about a different style? Because these people that are being pushed over here are going to come from YouTube. There's going to be a high production value, I'm guessing, of future content on LinkedIn. There's probably going to be more of storytelling and those type of, posts and things like that. But I just want you guys to know, like, I'm going to try to step up my game, obviously, but I'm always going to be me. Erin, just telling it like it is, maybe oversharing a little bit, probably a little bit of millennial cringe. Can't help that. 32, whatever. I'm just letting you know, I've loved you since day one, okay? Don't think anything different, and I'm glad to be here. As I mentioned, AJ's at his grandma's house right now, and it is time to catch up on content creation. I have been having like the worst time trying to get my shit together for this content batching. It's like when you have a moment to yourself when the kids are out of town. I'm not used to daycare. I don't have any like long breaks during the day. And so just these few days where he's actually gone and I know he's safe with his grandparents, everything is like crashing down on me. Like, okay, I gotta do this. I gotta do this. I gotta do this. I gotta do this. And it just kind of got overwhelming. And I would sit here for like hours and I'm like, okay, I'm going to click here, click there, click there. I'm trying out different tools, different AI tools, different subscriptions. I'm like, whoa, where's the actual progress? And it got really frustrating. So I had to like stop, take a step back, work on something that's a little bit easier and take those small wins. It's so important to inventory your small wins. I did my dishes. I got my laundry going. I moved around my computer desk. I found a place where I can set up my camera and actually like the background and like how it's formatted. So I won't say that I wasted 2 days. I recalibrated so that I could center and focus so that I can make this content work. Now, I have till the 5th, so it's the 2nd. I have like 3 more days of kid-freeness, and I am super, super determined to finish all 96 pieces of that content. So it's going to be a lot of images that I'm taking for this batch and a lot of writing, but it's going to be step by step, just like I mentioned. So if you're following this little content sprint with me, I really appreciate it. And I hope it maybe inspires you to create a little bit of content yourself, because if LinkedIn is going to be the new place to be and we've already been here, you might as well claim your stake. You might as well make your voice a little bit louder before all these other people come and flood the platform and start doing whatever, because it's just going to be shocking, right? Everyone's going to be, oh my God, they put that on LinkedIn, because people don't understand the culture of this platform, or how to push back on the culture of this platform, but with taste and actual meaningful information. And so it's not that I'm worried, but I just want people that are already here to be able to thrive and shine the way that they deserve before an influx of people from other platforms come and politely disrupt. I feel really good about where I'm at and what my plans are for LinkedIn, but I don't want my friends to get left behind. So I hope that you create some content that you can batch just like I'm doing, and let it just live on your profile so people can get to know you whenever they come stop by. It's like a bingeable type of picture post. That's all that it is. As you see here, I'm just breaking down a little bit about the post and the content plan that is in action, right? So I am breaking it down into a monthly theme. That is so much easier to think about than just, oh, I got to make a bunch of content. No, why don't we just break it up into 12 different themes and start there? So I think about a theme for a month, and it's like, it can be confidence building. It can be how to talk to a client. It can be how to do project management. Like whatever you're doing, you can create a theme for the month and start there. So like 12 things that you can help someone do. Because if you want LinkedIn to work for you algorithm wise, you need to be helpful. People are not here for aesthetic. That's one thing that is different about this platform that I actually like. You don't care if everything in my house is beige. You don't care if what I'm wearing is a freaking matching set from Juicy. You don't care about that stuff. You care about information you can learn from. I understand that about the culture here. You do too. And so that makes it a little bit easier. So think of 12 things that you can do that are helpful for other people. Like, how can they come to you and learn? Okay. So that's the thing. 12 things. Cool. Once you write those 12 things down, you think of 4 stories that prove for that theme. So if I'm talking about being a public speaker for a month, that's the theme for my month. I'm going to think of 4 different times that stand out to me that I did public speaking. And those are going to be stories that I write. Okay. So why 4? That's once a week. Okay. That's the only reason. It's just once a week, because at the bare minimum, you should post once a week. A great pace is twice a week. Anything else, you're going somewhere. So how do you write a story on LinkedIn? I want to tell you that this right here, this is not just something I was like, do this, do that. I went and I took a screenshot of every single LinkedIn post that got from 1 to 3,000 likes in 2025. And I asked AI to analyze, what is my formula? Why do people like these posts? What is the actual sauce to my writing? Of course, this is all organic writing. It's things that I was really, truly feeling. I took hours to write each post. I do not generate my post on ChatGPT. These are real experiences that I have. And so I gave it a lot of raw, qualitative information and data that made sense for it to analyze. And it told me This is your pattern. This is your secret sauce. This is your formula. And of course, I'm going to share it because I'm not a gatekeeper. That's just me. So there it is right there. I could package this up and sell it and make a course of it and hide it behind a paywall and blah, blah, blah. Whatever. If you need help executing it, come on over. But otherwise, everybody should have an opportunity to improve themselves and work on something. So, number one, what is the truth that makes people stop scrolling? What is the truth that makes people stop scrolling? So basically, like, let's say you're trying to write a post and you're like, okay, this is what happened. This is what happened. This is what happened. And like, let's say somebody asked you, well, what are you trying to say? What are you trying to say? And suddenly, just because somebody asked you, oh, well, what are you trying to say? You can come up with an instantaneous, oh, well, I'm trying to say that da 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 da. That's your one truth that makes people stop scrolling. Whatever it is, that is the summary of what point you're trying to make. That's your hook. That's what makes people stop scrolling, because that is the boiled down truth of the matter that you're discussing. And sometimes you can ask AI to come up with that for you. You say, hey, I'm writing, and then just put what you wrote. Da, 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 da. What am I trying to say? And it will summarize it in one sentence. You can try that. Number two, what was hard that no one saw? This is critical because this is where you get into that vulnerability. This is where the storytelling, this is where the sharing that actually means something happens. Because we all have private struggles, okay? Like, we all have moments where we're disappointed, where we're really excited, where the emotions are shifting, and we don't show it and we don't talk about it, and we just have those moments to ourselves. And sharing those moments is vulnerability, and it translates really well in storytelling. So those moments are key. And when you follow this strategy in order, your post is going to be amazing. So, what changed your mind or strategy? What changed your mind or strategy? So, let's say that you were somebody who was really adamant about working independently on a project. And there was a person who wanted to add to your work, but you're so used to doing it by yourself. So you told them no. And, that person didn't like you anymore from that point on, right? So the next time somebody wanted to collab on a project that you normally do independently, how did you handle that differently? What was it that made you change your mind or your strategy about that situation? Oh, I didn't like being seen as uncollaborative. I didn't like being seen as somebody who does everything by themselves, even though I thought that's what I wanted, right? So, what is it that made you change your mind or your strategy? And then, what shows the transformation is real? Is there a metric? Did you get a raise? Did you find a new job? Did you have more time to yourself? Did you save time doing something? Like, what can you talk about that proves all of the things you experienced actually made a difference and made that transformation real? For me, I use photos for this piece. So, like, if I'm talking about taking control of my health and my weight loss journey, I'm going to use a before and after. If I'm talking about turning from a corporate employee to an entrepreneur, I'm going to post my work badge and, a badge to a conference as a speaker, right? That is a visual key of evidence that the story is true and it makes the transformation real. What universal truth can others take away? So, what is it that's applicable not just to your story and you yourself, but what did you learn that you would teach your younger sibling or your kids if they were the right age, or a coworker coming into the same position as you? Anything like that. What is it that was true for you that's going to be true for anyone in that situation? How can you take what you've experienced and make sure that the way you're explaining it is relatable enough for other people to find value in what you're saying? It's not some time where you're going to be like, oh, and I did this, and this, and it was great for me. That's not a take home. That's not a universal truth that others can actually learn from, right? Again, this platform is not really for entertainment. I feel like it's for edutainment, right? Educational entertainment. I feel like some people come on here and they are funny and they are nice. Do I subscribe and follow them and look at all their content all the time? No. Do I like people who have story arcs and they're like on a journey and I'm like feeling like I'm real time in that journey? Hell yeah. I like that kind of content. And so oftentimes that content has a universal truth that they're speaking to that people can take away from what the other person is experiencing. So focus on what others can learn that's applicable across the board. Number 6. How do you leave your readers encouraged, not impressed? This is the most important step because who cares? Like if you're driving a Lamborghini or if you're in a mansion or buying handbags galore, if you can't tell the other person how to do it. This is a platform of doers. This is a platform of people who are at work or looking for work. We are work-minded people. What that means is we're looking for content that is actionable, or at least something we can reflect on that's productive reflection and can help with growth and self-growth, okay? It's not enough to impress people. Oh, I got this. Oh, I got that. Okay, great for you. We can clap. There'll be a little post. But what about the content that leaves your readers encouraged? Like, she got through that, so can I. This is a really good way to look at a terrible situation, like a layoff, and turn it into living your dream life and being an entrepreneur and never looking back. Like, how can I leave a reader encouraged about the next steps that they can take to get to where they're trying to go and not just impressed with what I've got going on? And that's how you tell a story. Now, it sounds like a lot of work, and you know what? It is. And you can't always outsource everything to AI. You just can't. And if you want content that's going to resonate, these are some of the steps that you can take to create a formula and an expectation for your readers so that you can achieve that connection without being generic and AI sounding. Create those stories and then follow up for each of those 4 stories is one how-to. So one post is a story, and then the second post is a how-to, a very clear how-to follow-up post about that story. You don't have to combine them. You can break it up. So story, how to do what you did. And when you do that, you've got 8 posts, okay? Tuesday and Thursday. Remember those days, okay? I don't think there's so huge of a difference for what time you post personally. I post sometimes in the middle of the night, whatever. It works out sometimes. But Tuesdays and Thursdays. And you've got, just from those 4 stories and the follow-up instructions for how to, you've got 8 pieces of content. That's an entire month of content. Just baseline content that's going to allow people to get to know you, that will never age because it's just storytelling and letting them see how you've operated over the years professionally. And you're just going to repeat that process 12 times. But I never said it was easy. But if you take the time to do that, like I'm going to do in the next 3 days, and then you take pictures to go with these posts, you will be able to grow on LinkedIn and you won't feel that pressure. Oh my God, I got to post. I don't know what I'm going to say. Or, oh my God, this happened, but I don't have time to write about it. If you just sit down and you do this process, you'll be set for a whole year, and anything else you add, oh, I went to this conference, it was great, or oh, I did this, is just going to enhance your profile that much more, right? So if you give yourself a chance to try content batching in this way, I think you can see some success. You should see some dramatic improvement on your reach, on how you're talking to people. And honestly, like they're saying, this is the next hotspot. You're already here. Claim your spot here on this platform before it gets flooded with everyone else. Don't put too much pressure on yourself. You've got time, but this is a great way to start out the new year. Batch a little bit of content for LinkedIn. I think there's going to be a lot coming out of this platform over the next year. Keep an eye out. Make sure that you're present and you take up space. And I will see you guys on my next video. Bye.